Hello everyone, this is episode 10 of my full playthrough of Silent Hill. If you recall last time, I went and saved Dr. Kaufman in this resort area of Silent Hill, and I need to eventually start heading over to the lighthouse. Um, in this episode, as you'll see, it's a little bit longer. Some important plot stuff happens later on, and in the beginning I just kind of explore, get my bearings, check and see what's going on. At least during the early part. So there's mostly just me wandering around, avoiding a lot of enemies. I may not talk too much, but once we get past a certain point, I do have some things that I definitely want to make sure I bring up, and I will do that when we get to that. But right now, as I said, I'm just doing some exploring, and I'm mostly doing this because there is something else that I can get that will help me get a better ending. Unfortunately, I can't exactly remember what it is, and I don't remember where it is, so I try to do some exploring and find it. Doesn't really turn up anything. I wind up eventually just turning around and heading towards game completion here. See, if I go in this way, can't go this way. It's closed off. And in this part, like just with all the enemies, it can be a little bit aggravating, and it just tends to burn through your health. And if you were to, for some reason, ever decide to stop and fight guys, it would definitely burn through your ammo. But I want to try and save some ammo. More map checking. Still doing a lot of that. I'm doing a lot of exploration right now. I think right around here I just wind up more or less kind of getting a fast playing and just decide to go forward with working through the game and run into a sign. I almost got attacked by a dog, but thankfully it doesn't impede me too much, and I make my way towards the lighthouse, which is where I need to head in order to continue with the game story. Another run across a bridge, but this time at night, and it's snowing. And then
What's
here,
this
is actually this game's one of the big kind of set piece moments. You actually get to see the transition from the normal world to the other world. Rather than having to do some sort of like jump cut or Harry waking up, you actually watch the ground go from normal to that rusty chain link thing. I think it's really interesting in this game how that happening, like it's a big moment in the game. I mean, the game stops and he's making this, this is nightmare turning into reality and all that stuff. And but whereas in like Silent Hill 2, I don't think you ever have that moment, and then on like Silent Hill 3 and some of the other ones, it's just kind of it's no big deal. But in this game, actually seeing that transition is this big moment, especially since you've been going back and forth, but you've never actually seen it. You've never seen it shift from one to the other, and here you actually get to see it. But now it's more running around outside in the other world, and I'm getting attacked by these ape things, which seem to be more prevalent here. Yeah, see here I'm trying to do some exploring because, as I said, I'm trying to actually find something that will assist me, but I don't come up with anything. And it's even more hectic because I think there's a good 3 or 4 enemies just like all around trying to get me, and I'm trying to explore and check these things, and it doesn't go too well. Then we got this weird camera shift, and I get jumped on. See here, I think this is a door, but I can't get it to do anything, so I wind up having to eventually just start ignoring it. You see there, I'm getting damaged, losing health. That's about this part especially. This is very difficult because I need to explore, see what's around here, but I'm getting attacked, and I can't really necessarily stop and fight them because there's just so many of them. I'd lose a bunch of health and lose a bunch of ammo. So I basically eventually decide, okay, well, let's attempt to head in the right direction. And so I head this way, thinking there's something over here. Also, one thing about the other one, lots of barrels. Apparently people around here like their barrels. Now see here, this is an area that's going to become important in a short while, but right now just contains 2 dogs trying to kill me. I do try to look around a little bit because I figure since I can come in here that maybe there's something here that I need. Yeah, see, as you can see right here, this part, very hectic. There's several enemies all around, all chasing me. So I have to make sure I stay on the move so that I don't get attacked and killed. But I decided to start heading towards the lighthouse. And then I have to go down these stairs here. And onto this boat. Check that random dead body. I'm just checking my map to see if it gives me something specific for this. But in here, run into Sybil.
Harry!
We got some plot going here.
I followed the sewer. Were you the one who cut the fence?
And then also, one thing that I haven't really talked a whole lot about is the first Silent Hill movie that was made. I can't remember the exact year. Several years ago. And the reason why I bring that up is because there's a character in that movie who is pretty much based off of the Sybil Bennett from this game. Character that's a police officer in that. And that movie, believe it or not, is actually not terrible. It's nothing great, but it's worth a watch. And in fact, that movie makes a lot of direct references to this game. As you've seen, the character of Dahlia Gillespie, she's in that movie. Alessa Gillespie. A lot of the basic elements of that movie actually take stuff from this game and take stuff from this sort of universe. And I wanted to crafting this own story, which is probably part of the reason why it's not so terrible. But it's interesting to see where that movie actually got most of its inspiration from.
I think I'm finally beginning to understand what that lady was talking about.
Yeah, here he's just
Harry,
telling Sybil he understands what's happening.
I don't get it.
Look, I don't understand it all myself. I guess I can't explain it.
And then
What's making this happen?
then even weirder as usual, like
I don't know that
like
either.
Sybil is clearly standing in this other world, but
Cheryl is there.
doesn't really seem to be affecting her all that much. I guess maybe this is possibly the first instance where maybe people are experiencing it different, but
She needs my
it doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense.
Harry, this whole thing's been a major blow to you. You need to rest.
Sybil,
Oh,
Demon is awakening.
Crazy lady shows up.
Those winds.
Dahlia Gillespie.
Was it not as I said?
And like real morons, they just let her just ramble on.
I see it all now. Yes, everything. Hungry for sacrifice, the demon will swallow up the land. I knew this day would come. And what's more, the task is almost finished. There's only 2 left. To seal this town to the abyss, the mark of Samael. When it is completed, all is lost.
This is just Dahlia doing crazy lady speak,
Even
pretty much what
in
Harry has
dark,
already said.
Darkness will cover the sun. The dead will walk and martyrs will burn in the fires of hell. Everyone will die.
So what am I supposed to do? I've got to save Cheryl.
It is simple. Stop the demon. The demon taking that child's form. Stop it before your daughter becomes a sacrifice. Before it is too late. Stop it! Stop it!
What do I do?
Go to the lighthouse on the lake. And to the center of the amusement park. Make haste. You are the only hope.
Look, Harry. I really don't get what's going on. But if there's a chance we can save your daughter, I'm in.
Oh, Sybil's concerned
I'll
about
check out the
Cheryl.
amusement park. You go to the lighthouse.
Sybil, thanks.
Once again, also, at no point is anyone like, hey, maybe we should all travel together and not risk getting killed. But,
Use what?
The flowers.
you know, that would just make too much sense.
Only with that can you stop it.
What about Sybil?
And then here we got some items in here. Some ammo and health. I picked that up. Yeah, those are shit's real. Don't worry about it, though. Pick up some ammo, get some save going on here. And then I have to head out. I get a little bit disoriented with the way the camera angles shift and making sure I go the right. I think there might be another set of doors. Turns out there really isn't. Back outside, I gotta run around some more, get to the lighthouse. And here this part's even more harrowing because it's mostly you have to run on these small things, and as just to come up the ramp I get jumped by that guy. But it's these small, it's almost like corridors basically that you have to run down, and because it's such tight quarters and this is a survival horror game using tank controls, it can be a little bit difficult sometimes to maneuver. But I eventually get through it. Yeah, then it's enemy. He gets like caught in front of me, and because of how tight it is, he can't turn around. So I wind up having to jump farther away from me. But oh, can't go that way. I have to head over here. I think at this point I'm actually hurting the health. My controller's vibrating, but I'm trying to get out of the line of fire before I use any health. Yeah, so here that was a pain. Like, there was no way for me to avoid that dog. By the dog again, but heading to the lighthouse. Get healed up. And I save. And I have to walk up this long, windy staircase. And what it does with the camera here is actually really neat. Just how it pans up and shows it. Here up at the top of the lighthouse, we get another little cutscene here.
Wait! Damn, I was too late.
And because that scene was so short, I think like there's something up here. I didn't go and check this, but I also remembered that one of the endings I think requires that Harry collects items. I think that may be the UFO ending that I mentioned earlier. And this lighthouse plays a more prominent role, I think, in that ending. Oh, right now I'm a little bit confused because it seems like there should be more going on, but nothing really happens. It's just kind of like a little thing, and then I have to head over to the amusement park. Let's see, I check here, check and see if I can use the flares. No luck. But I check the map. At this point, I'm a little bit. But I decided to head back out this way and get attacked by a dog again. I try shooting him a little bit just because I have to go that way, but I head back up this way. But rather than make me run through everything, it takes me right back to the boat, and we have a little cutscene here.
Sybil hasn't come back. That creep's sure to show up at the amusement park pretty soon. Let me be on time.
Yeah, it's weird because he's like, he says that creep, like, I'm assuming he's referring to, Alessa, but it seems kind of odd to refer to her like that. See, I gotta head back this way to get to the amusement park. And then here I head down to where Sybil went, and then we see a little cutscene with Sybil. She gets knocked over. So here we are. I'm doing another little sewer section here. More of these weird lizard guys hanging out. This section isn't too bad. There's just a lot of enemies overall. Yeah, some more of that weird moaning going on. More ceiling guys. I think I'll take this one out. He falls down. Oh, yeah. There's another one there. I decided, screw this and take off. Yeah, I got really hurt there. Wasn't the best idea to try to fight those guys. Here, I'm not just running through because I haven't been here before. Come back here and get some health and a little bit of ammo to help me out some. Yeah, see, I ran by that, I checked that, there was some health there. Good thing I grabbed it. These weird little, like, mole dudes. They attack like those, like, demented children that you see. See, here I just kind of start running just because there are a lot of enemies. In fact, here I almost get cornered. I had like 3 enemies, but I wound up taking a little hit and getting away. then that noise, like I think that noise. There's some monster up ahead that when you run by it, like it's there through the grate, like right there. I think that's like that monster falling through. But here I am. I'm underneath the amusement park, and then there's some of the like a couple of these like horses or whatnot down here. But I head up the ladder into the amusement park to go and try and find Sybil. I don't have that. I'm in the amusement park now. I don't have a map for it. I don't think there is a map for it. And this amusement park, even to this day, is probably one of the creepiest game environments I've ever seen. Like we've got those weird little like ghost things again that keep making my alarm go off. But what goes on here and the things you see, like it's done very well. Yeah, I have some more of these crazy devil children. And then I do believe in Silent Hill 3, the protagonist in that game actually winds up visiting an amusement park. But this game did it first, and this is really settles in. Like that ride is going, and it's all rusted and stuff. But there's the music playing. And that's where it really ups like just like the general creep factor, being really unsettling. Run around here. I do some checks because I'm still trying to find that thing for Sybil. I think at this point it's too late, but yeah, we have all these different rides. They're all rusted and kind of like broken down, I guess, sort of. But they're all just kind of running. And there, I get attacked by another little devil child thing. Yeah, I'm just finding my way around here. The place I'm specifically looking for is the merry-go-round, because that is where Sybil is. And then here we are at the merry-go-round. And then there's Sybil. Oh, hey, Sybil. She's in a wheelchair for some reason. But if you look to your eyes, they're all red. Sybil is infected. And this boss fight, this is actually like a boss fight more or less. And there's actually a couple ways this fight can play out. I wind up just shooting her down, which is one way, and she dies. However, that actually prevents you from getting the best ending in the game. The other way the fight can play out, and I tried to do this, I didn't succeed. Rather than be stuck trying to wander around, I decided to just continue with the game, is where you actually, after saving Kaufman, there's one other thing you need to find or do, where you actually get like some drugs or something to use on Sybil during this fight, and it cures her infection, and then she's able to help you out in, I think, the end of the game. But I decide to just take her out. This fight is unfortunately not a very quick one. She's kind of tough, hits rather hard with her gun, and this being a survival horror game, it is not the easiest to maneuver. Let's see here, I ran a little bit away from her, and actually what happens is Sybil hops on one of the things and it starts rotating. But yeah, she basically just soaks up bullets. See, and then her gun has run out of ammo. Yeah, she managed to grab me there. Don't know quite what she's doing. Trying to choke me probably, but choke Harry anyway. But yeah, see right now it's just all just basically wear her down and take her out here. But and also like with this particular fight, it is kind of interesting that at the time it could play out two different ways, and they're both drastically different. If I'd done it the other way, this fight would have probably been over by now, because basically she gets close to you, you do one thing, she gets cured, and you move on. But it's just kind of it's interesting to see that, especially in this type of game where two really different endings based purely on some side content you can or you may or may not do. But see, I was running low on piss around, so I had to break out the shotgun. But there, Sybil drops. And this cutscene of her dying. And then, oh, there she is, dead. She's all bloody. Harry's all upset. Sybil died. And then, oh, there's Harry walking, and there's Alessa. This is Harry's.
I figured you'd show.
This is Harry's like confrontation with her.
I don't know who you are, what you're trying to do, and I don't care. Just one thing. let Cheryl go. That's all I ask.
Yeah, Harry is interested in the fact that trying to turn the town into an evil place. Just wants to save his daughter. She knocks him over using extreme psychic abilities. He goes to go after her. There's some force field.
What is
Oh,
this?
the Flaros. It's flaring up. It basically turns into a laser and shoots Alessa.
Where's Cheryl? Give me back my daughter.
Now, Harry, ooh, he's all badass now that he's attacked a small girl and a schoolgirl out of it. And then Dahlia shows up and she's like, oh,
Dahlia Gillespie? Where's Cheryl? Where is she?
Alessa, this is the end of your little game. Mama?
Could she be?
You've been a ghastly little pest, haven't you, Alessa? I was careless, thinking you couldn't escape from our spell. But Mommy didn't know how much you'd grown.
see. Dahlia is, of course,
That's
Alessa's
why I
mother.
couldn't catch you all by myself. But what a pity, yes? Now you're half indebted to this man for his help.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Alessa, my dear little girl, there is one thing left I need you to do for me.
No! Get away from me!
Bad girl.
He just like scolds her like a dog.
Let's go home.
And we have flashing light.
What's going on here?
And then, oh, that happens, and... Harry wakes up, and he's in the Otherworld hospital. And then this nurse, Lisa, she's like twitching out.
Harry.
Lisa. What happened? Where's Alessa and Dahlia?
Harry, listen. Something you said before has been bothering me. I just can't get it out of my head.
What is it, Lisa?
So I went to look in the basement,
Oh, she went down to the basement.
even though I was scared as hell.
Oh, she said hell. Ooh.
Like you said, there were these creepy rooms. But nothing really unusual down there.
And that couple of sentences
I got this
has a weird disconnect. Oh, there were these creepy rooms, but nothing unusual. Like,
like so
I don't know. It's just
I can't quite.
that happens occasionally in games like this.
What was it? Harry, help me.
She's upset because she
I'm
can't
so
remember
scared.
something.
I can't take this.
It's only a temporary thing. You're in shock from when you were knocked out. Don't fret about it. You'll remember after a while.
But basically, after this cutscene ends,
No.
I'll end this episode.
You don't understand.
Let this finish. But as usual, if you like the video,
Where do you
like it,
think you're
subscribe,
going?
all that fun stuff. Join my Facebook group. Follow me on Twitter. I always appreciate it. And of course, leave a comment with any suggestions. Let me know if you like this format or not. And the next episode will be up in a couple of days. after this one finishes. Now Harry notices a sound. I decide time to save. Gonna end this. So, as usual, once again, thank you very much for watching. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying it, and hope you tune in for the later episodes of my full playthrough of Silent Hill. Should be finishing it up shortly. I'm kind of at the end game area here. All right, so thank you very much again, and I will see you next time.